Hello everyone, my name is Elizabeth Ogunshola. I'm the founder of Brainy High Schools in the beautiful city of Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. I've been in the TIP Inner Circle for 4 good years now, but this year 2025, interestingly, I requested to move back to level 1 because you see, it's not about how much you know, it's about how much you're willing to become through what you know. And for me, going back was a bold step forward. Before I joined the Inner Circle, I was already, hosting parenting workshops in my school. But I got to a point where I had run out of relatable resources to guide the parenting in my school community. I literally said a prayer. Lord, please, if you really want me to help this parent in my school, send me help, send me resources that people could relate with. And boom, I stumbled on Coach Wendy's parenting books. I must say that was the beginning of a beautiful transformation. And this transformation isn't just for the school community, it is for me as a parent. From time to time, we get our teachers to read and review Coach Wendy's books. And many parents from our school community are now members of the Inner Circle. Let me tell you, the impact of this is massive in our school community, trust me. From the book reviews by the teachers to our parents joining the Inner Circle, it's a lot easier for teachers and parents to work together. So we now have what we call shared relationships. We have shared values. We have parenting partnerships that work. It's no longer parents versus teachers. It's a beautiful relationship that exists. It's the teachers knowing the right discipline, to engage the children or the learners with. So let me tell you something. I have 3 degrees in early childhood education, from B.Ed to PhD, but I must say, even with my child psychology knowledge, parenting is not easy. Parenting is not theory. It's practice. It's daily responsibilities. It's emotional connection, emotional intelligence, emotional presence. It's showing up for your kids, making the right decisions even when you don't feel like it. And this is what Inner Circle has taught me. Inner Circle holds me accountable. It brings me back to what really matters, the home. There's a story that I'll never forget. There was an assignment we did in the Inner Circle, and we were asked to create these family values and family mission statement. My husband and I sat down and we redefined what should be our core values, and we got our kids to understand it. So one of them was decency in dressing. One day we were running out late. We're going for an event actually, and I hurriedly threw a dress at my girl. And she looked at me and said, "Mommy, I can't wear this." Then I said, "Why? Why not? Come on, we're late. Come on, wear it." And she said, "No, it's not decent. You taught us that. Decency is part of our family values." You see what I did? I froze, honestly. And you know what? I apologized. Ordinarily, I wouldn't have done that, but TIB taught me to do that. The parents can actually apologize to their kids when they are wrong. And Inner Circle reminds me to be intentional about my actions and inactions. And let's be honest, you cannot parent alone. Love is not enough. Passion is not enough. Prayers are not even enough if you are not willing to learn how to apply the wisdom. So, a lot of us, we prepare for our careers, we prepare for our weddings, our businesses, but who prepares us, for the most important job, raising the children? Think about it. So in case you're still, thinking of joining the TIP Inner Circle, I want to welcome you. It's a journey that you will never regret. It's the Inner Circle where you feel like you never knew anything about parenting, because there's just a lot to learn and a lot to do, but it's going to be good for you and your kids and their future. Trust me. So I'll be looking out for you in 2026, maybe level 1, and I can as well go to level 2. But see you in 2026. Remember, parenting is about you. Bye.
Okay, that was Dr. Ogunshola. And yes, we are looking out for you. Welcome here and thank you for being here. It is an amazing Tuesday again. Today, please permit me, my voice is a little bit cracky. So today, we're talking on the hidden agendas of pushing children to grow up fast. Somebody say it's blurry. Oh, wow. So give me some time. Let me be sure. Please, just give me a little while.
Consistency is how families are saved. Someone stood steady when I was still growing. Someone showed me what quiet obedience looks like. Coach Wendy, I am here.
Okay, I think we're good. Thank you so much. Is it good now? Please confirm. Confirm, confirm, confirm. Confirm you can see me. Confirm you can hear me. Please, team, can you tell me whether it's still blurry? It's okay. Okay, yes, my voice is a little bit husky today. It's better. Good. Let's go. And it's today that I have a lot to say to you. That's the day that the voice do not want me to say a lot to you, but I shall say a lot. You're welcome. Welcome to the cathedral. The hidden dangers of pushing children to grow up too fast. Are you guys ready for this class? Let's even talk about growing up too fast. All right? You know, most times we are talking about pushing children into experiences, responsibilities, expectations that they are not ready for, emotionally, socially, cognitively, and I'm going to be giving you concrete examples. All of the examples I need in. Oh, Minister Tinua Day, me. So good to see you. And hey, shout out to Abuja Yadas. I'm wearing Abuja Yadas on my body. So yes, Abuja Yadas, this is one of the pieces I got from Abuja Yadas over the week on my birthday. Beautiful. So you guys, when you see Abuja Yadas, hug them for me. All right. One of the concrete examples that we have, right, is academic acceleration. Should we start with that one? Yes, let's start with that one. Jumping a child 2 grades ahead because they are smart. Who is on this table? You enroll them in a high-level course meant for older students. You expect mastery of subjects before they can fully grasp fundamental skills. A 7-year-old in a class of a 9-year-old. And then, of course, there's a lot of struggle. You know that many of us are on this table, Abby. This is a table that a lot of us don't want us to talk about. You know, many of us actually see academic success and think, my child is smart. Let's push him. How many of you are on this table? Submit to the table so that we can break the leg and give you a new one. Let me tell you something about myself. I jumped classes. I left university at 20. And I came out tops of my class. In the real sense of it, I should be one of the people that you will say, oh, I succeeded, he didn't do anything. But it's not true. It's not true. I suffered the consequences of jumping process. I love the testimonials that is coming. Excuse me. Fatih said, I jumped so much, I ended up confused. I wasn't even a smart child. I was just forced to be one. Some of us were not even as smart. Your parents were just pushing. And most of it was parenting ego. Trust me, it was. See, invite people today. Invite your friends. Invite your family. Bring them here. This matter, we must talk it. Now, you know, a child will jump 2 grades because they excelled. You enroll them in courses that is bigger than them. On the surface, it looks like a win. On the surface, it looks like you succeeded. But when a child gets to that point, complete the assignment quickly. But this is what happens underneath that jumping of class. I will tell you. Number one, emotional and social strain. I've heard people say to me, I jumped class, I survived it. What are you saying? I came out top of my class. Oh, shit. What you don't know is that you have not sat down to count the costs. Until I sat down to count the costs, I didn't recognize what happened to me. I remember when the twins were going to school. So we got to school, they say, oh, when you do well, you will skip a class and then you will enter the next class. Inside where? You enter the next class. So I'm wondering, I told the proprietor, I said, no, ma, we are not interested. Now look at this. Somebody said, I failed a class. They jumped me to the next class. So I said, we're not interested in that jumping of class. We're like, no, it's for children who do exceptionally well. Until I sat down with that proprietor, she recognized that she even jumped class and it affected her. The truth of the matter is that some of us have not sat down to actually think about it. Did this really do us good? We don't know how to reflect. We only know how to just move. Some of us thought we were too smart, smarter than everybody. So of course I skipped from grade 5. I was going to leave from grade 4. What a disaster. And I went to secondary school. I was a high flyer in secondary school, funny enough. I was a prefect, I was a high flyer. I was a high flyer in the university. I came out tops of my class. But the truth is, there were strains. There were strains. A child may be intellectually ahead, but emotionally behind their peers. Emotional and social strain is a thing. One of the biggest challenges children are having is that they are emotionally strained. You're pulling them here. They can't cope. They feel left out sometimes. Even among older children. They are struggling to relate. They are struggling to make friends. That your child that went from primary 4, since he entered secondary school, he's struggling. We struggle. He will struggle. I struggled with social class without even knowing it. Mind you, I was in the political system in the university. Big political, I've always been into leadership. But I struggled. You set your child up for necessary emotional strain. I used to lie about my age because I didn't want people to intimidate me. Why do you want to keep a child in that kind of what's going on? The other day I was talking with the twins. The twins are going to be 16. They're in SS2. So by the time they're leaving school, they're going to be turning 18. Right? 17 going to 18. And I was talking to them. They said, Mommy, what are you saying? Some of our mates are still 13. 13 Bawo in SS2. There's something wrong with you people. Like really. That child gets to a point where they haven't developed coping skills. In developed nations, you can't jump classes. It's only in Nigeria where we think that people know a lot. Think we're geniuses. Even if you're a genius, there is a reason that process was there. There's a reason. There's a reason why that process was there. You have loneliness, you have social anxiety building up. The children begin to withdraw, act out. These shortcuts is one of the things that have kept us here. These shortcuts. We want to cut short everywhere. We want to, come from this corner, do this, do this. Most times when we say it, it looks like it's a good thing. But when you cut short a process, you are actually in a mess of the product, because a product is a form of the process that they had gone through. Everybody get that? Final result of that product. Make a mess. So, you skip steps, you ignore best practices, you rush through important stages. And the final product is shaped by the process. Any flaws, any gaps, any mistake in the process, baked is the outcome. So even if the product looks okay at first, underlying weaknesses of failure are hidden until later. Think of baking a cake. I don't bake, my daughter does. I've watched her bake cakes. So if you rush through the mixing, you don't measure the ingredients properly, you skip the baking time, the cake may look fine on the outside, but you will see it lumpy, undercooked, taste off. The cake's final quality is a direct result of how it was made. The process cannot be skipped without consequences. Let me say that again. The process can never be skipped without consequences. In short, mess up the process, you mess up the product. The process determines the outcome. It's same in parenting. Mess up the process, you mess up the product. The process determines the outcome. Ask yourself, to what end? To what end? All of that jumping that you jumped, all of that jumping, tell me the result today. Sit down and count your cost. I've sat down in my children's school. I've looked at the top 5 students in their set. It's not anybody underaged. The so-called people who are so smart that skipped classes and came and met them. There's none of them that is less than 17. All of the top 5 students in their set. All less than 16. All. Not one person. So I keep asking myself, I said, the 13-year-old in your class, I thought they said he was very smart. That's why he came. My children will say, no, be only. The process cannot be skipped without a consequence. Never. When you jump grades, it often means that you're skipping foundational skills. It may not be obvious in the early times. The child can memorize, the child can guess the answers, but later on, when the chiefs, comes, when the push comes to shove, when they need to build on those skipped concepts, you leave a gap in their understanding. It causes confusion, it causes self-doubt, it causes frustration, because you suddenly find yourself confused, despite being labeled gifted. Gifted. So when you japa, most of you, when you drop your children to the what for? So where are you running to? Where are you running to? Most people that skipped class, skipped foundational processes, they've not recovered. See, you need therapy to recover. Yeah, you guys don't know anything. When you skip classes, you see, just click at, when you skip classes, you need serious therapy to recover from that skip. I've been there, and I know. It used to be a thing to brag about that I left school at 20. Shame not agree me talk am again. Except I'm in a class like this for the purpose of teaching. One day I asked my father, I came out at 20, It's just bragging, right? What else? My daughter came out of her class. She was trying to when she graduated. And then what? Did you count your cost? What was the emotional cost for that? What was the other cost for that? Why? Why is your child 13 and in senior secondary school for crying out loud? If not for your ego. If not for your ego. Just because a child skips grade doesn't mean they win. The real cost comes later. It comes later. Behind that bragging right, there was a prize. Gaps in understanding, emotional exhaustion, lesson in resilience. I had to learn it the hard way on my way in life. Some of the lessons I learned in my 30s. Can you beat it? In my 30s. See, nature abhors vacuum. There is no vacuum in nature. Something will fill it up. So everything you skipped 10 years now. Later on, nature will demand for the things you skipped. All the lessons you don't learn when you're supposed to learn it, nature will demand. Your future will call for it. Your future will call for it. Easy to celebrate a child. Very easy. Very easy to celebrate a child. Early graduation, everything. You are dancing. My child is the youngest graduate. So you ask yourself, what about the social cost? What about the long-term growth? It looks like progress, but the fundamental gaps, is harder. So if a child excels academically, the process matters more than the speed. Let me say that again. Even if your child excels academically, the process matters more than the speed. Growth is not just about finishing early. It's about thriving emotionally, socially, and intellectually. I was on a conversation with Yada. The brother was one of the biggest, doctors at the time. Came out of our class, graduated so early. Intelligence as we speak. That man is a drug addict. And as we're analyzing it, I say your brother grew up a trophy child. See, some of you with that book need to go and sit with this book. Some of you just need it. Up a trophy child. When the chips were down, he couldn't withstand the pressure. He's not addicted to pentazocine. His certificate have been withdrawn as we speak. He's no longer practicing. Consultant, everything. The process, it will ask you for it in the future. It might not be now. That's what we're talking about, the understanding your child's learning style. This year's understanding your child's learning style is not on, they'll just come and learn how your child learns. No. It's deeper than that. Even if your child is top of the class, that class is for you. I'm telling you the truth. That class is for you. Because at the end of the day, it's not the bragging right that matters. It's a child's well-being. It's a child's lifelong growth. There is a hidden gap in learning. When you jump crate, it means skipping foundational skills. It means skipping foundational skills. See, it may look obvious. Look obvious as the child can memorize and guess answers and all of that. Number 3, there is stress. There is pressure. There is burnout. When you are being pulled too fast, it teaches the child that success is about speed and performance, not understanding and curiosity. Unfortunately, success is about understanding and curiosity. Fear of failure becomes so intense because any mistake will feel like evidence that they're not good enough. Over time, it reduces motivation. It makes learning feel like a burden. If you are being sincere, most of us who skipped classes, at the time you just want to finish and just get it off your head. There's another thing which is something that we don't talk about very often. The loss of childhood joy. Childhood has a joy. Do you know that the shortest thing in life is childhood? Adulthood starts at 18, whatever time. But from 0 to 18 is so short. The rest of your life is going to be long, long from 18 till forever. Why do you want to cut short that small time? We're constantly rushing our children out of childhood. A child plays, you are angry. Why is a child playing and you're angry? Have you thought of it? Have you thought of it? A child does something that is age appropriate. You're upset. Why are you upset? Some of us want our children to become bankers immediately. That's why we rush them. Some of us want our children to just grow up, go to school, become. That's why today we're having 22-year-olds, graduates, 23-year-olds, graduates who sit in their house looking for a job. To what end? See that child has actually gone to school, university. University is raise a child because according to you, according to us, there's no job, the job market. You need to be young. That's the story they sold to you. You need to be young so that when you come at 23, they only employ 22-year-old, 23-year-old. I agree. Who created the standard? That's the question I'm asking you today. And then you rush your child. You rush your child through school. Bah, 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 bah. You don't want your children to be children. A child plays and pours water. Why are you behaving like a child? You won't ask your children why you're behaving like that. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back on. Somebody said, "Oh, are you too old to be playing with balloons?" I said to the person, "My 6-year-olds, I've kept my bed for them. You need to come and play with it, bust it, make noise." The other day, my daughter wore a socks and said she's going to slide. That is our playtime. She wants to go and slide. How do you guys want to rob your children of childhood so much? You know why? You know why? Somebody say employers of labor need to do better. No! You need to parent better. Your problem is not employers of labor. Your problem is not employers of labor. You need to raise the skill standards of raising a child. That's what you need to do. That's nothing to do with employers of labor. I've been employing labor for almost a decade today. Not almost, over a decade today. And I can tell you for free. They're using every employer the skill that can solve problem. Most people you bring that can do useful. Sorry, I think my network is trying to try me. I refuse. Let me go to work. All right, let's go. Network has behaved. So, they put, and then even the children that you bring, the so-called children that you say graduated tops of the class. I interviewed somebody who made a first class. I was ashamed for the person. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Your children will need to be parented better. It's not employment. None of my children is going to rush through anywhere. But when they come out, they will come out solid. They'll come out solid. We want our children to grow up so quickly, go to school, finish school, graduate, start working. We skip classes, we start early. Your 6-month-old is in school. Why? Why? Do you know that crèche? Hey God, I don't know whether this class, when I finish, you will not beat me. Do you know that crèche is a disservice to your toddler? Do you know? It is sold to busy professionals. See, when they cannot find what it is that you're supposed to be taught, they give you what you're needing. I'm sure you're looking at me and answering, what else will I do now, coach? I don't have an option. I know, I agree with you. But is it really true that you don't have an option? Crèche is a disservice. Crèche was created to help busy professionals, not to help the child. So, somewhere safe, somewhere while they work, it solves a logistics problem for adults. It solves no problem for the child. Are you hearing me? Like one of my pastors will say. The real question is, does it really meet the developmental need of the child? Does it really meet the developmental need of a child? Does it? Does it? A toddler's brain is not asking for early schooling. A toddler's brain is asking for something much deeper. An attachment, a language-rich interaction, an emotional security, exploration through play, close attention from consistent caregiver. The truth of the matter is that nobody will tell you this truth. Your money needs to be collected now, and then we'll solve a logistic problem for you. So when the system cannot give the child what they are supposed to receive, it substitutes it what is convenient to provide. Convenient. So instead of connection, they give you structure at that point. So instead of deep interaction, they give you activities. So the child is no longer bored. Instead of emotional bonding, they give you supervision. So crèche was created. Let me say it again. Crèche was created to help and solve the logistic problems of busy adults, not to solve the developmental need of a child. Is anybody? I want you to write that quote so you can remember that I said it. When you hear it somewhere else, attach my name to it. The bigger lesson is that children don't just need care. They need developmentally appropriate experiences. Let me say that again. Children don't just need care. They need developmentally appropriate experiences. The early years are not meant to be rushed. They are not meant to be institutional routines. They are not meant to be academic. They are meant to be play. They are meant to be attachment. They are meant to be language. They are meant to be emotional formation. Because when those early foundations means the gaps show up in later years, do you know that some of your children who are doing drugs today, it was because of crèche lack of attachment? Oh yes. Some of the children who are struggling with behavioral issues as teenagers, it was the gap you left when you put them in a crèche. Are you guys really ready for this conversation? And when that happens, you see the children. Some of your children are struggling with learning. It's not because they are dumb. It's because something was missed at the foundation. They struggle with learning. They struggle with emotional regulation pattern. Some of them will struggle for life until therapy is put in. And that's why when we do what we do in the inner circle, we do it and we do it back to back. There's a reason for that. Because I know that if you don't put those systems in place, the children will continue to struggle. You want your 3-year-old to be reading. You want them to be reciting. You even put in 1-year-old to be watching Miss Rachel. You say, they are learning a lot. Your 1-year-old have no business learning ABC. Your 2-year-old have no business learning how to write. Hi, God. The question is, what does my child actually need at this stage of development? That's the question. That's the question. That's the question. That's the question. So your child, academic acceleration may make your child look advanced, but inside, they will struggle. Pushing a child too fast can create stress, gaps, emotional isolation, hidden fear for failure. Is a thing. Is a thing. And then the child continues to struggle struggle, 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 struggle. But you know, if we say it, you say, no. So what do you want us to do? I'm not saying you should do anything. I'm just telling you that this is the truth. What I'm telling you to do is to come and learn. When you learn, you make better choices. When you learn, you will make better choices. You will make better choices. So, you know, many of the time, sorry, I want to take out this noise from my phone. So many of the times, right, you actually do not think about these things. You just keep going. Keep going. Keep going. The first 3 years of a child's life develop faster than any other year. Any other year. And at this stage, your child do not need a formal schooling from 0 to 3. Your child do not need a formal schooling from 0 to 3. Around 3 to 4, you can begin gentle introduction to structured learning. That's a good stage to introduce children to play-based early learning environment where they can interact with other children, develop communication skills, practice sharing, cooperation. They don't need to bring home assignments. Why is your 3-year-old, 4-year-old carrying packs of assignment? Assignment on what exactly? School owners. Assignment of what? One of the best things that can happen to you is to drag the school owner of your child's school into understanding your child's lifestyle. To save your life. To save your life. There shouldn't be any academic pressure at this stage. None, not one. It should be play-based exploration, focused learning. Play-based exploration, focused learning. By the time the child is around 5 to 6, in some nations of the earth, Finland, school don't start till 6. Readiness for formal schooling. Most children are developmentally ready for them to go. But you know, in our place, your children start nursery school from primary 1, from age 1. Once they are 1, take them to school. You take them to school, then they give them assignment. They give them a child in nursery school is doing 10 subjects. I wanted to say, are you I? But I remember this is not in that circle. Oh my God. Like, really? Really? That's the age. That's readiness for formal schooling according to developmental process. That's when your child has better emotional regulation, stronger language skills. Most of your children are being burdened. You know what is paining me? In the future, these same children will struggle with this thing you're doing now. See, readiness matters more than age. The real question is not just how old is your child. It is, can this child focus for a short period? Can they follow simple instructions? Can they actually interact with their peers? Do they show curiosity and independence? Children develop at different speeds, so the right time varies slightly from child to child. School should not just be a place to keep your children busy. It should be a place where your child is developmentally ready. Somebody said it is parents that are forcing schools. I know this part. But then again, are you going to do things at the detriment of a child? It will be unfair for any school owner who knows better to do anything at the detriment of the child. Honestly speaking, it's heart-wrenching when we see some things. All right? Somebody said, I graduated from university at 19 years. Oh, shit. Now we're talking about academics. There's another part of dangers of pushing your children to grow up too fast. Exposing your children to adult responsibilities. Some of you tell your children what is happening in your marriage. You tell them how their mother is wicked. Tell them how their father does not want to join you. Tell them how their father is treating you that is not good. You tell them, you ask them to do things, manage things in the house that they have no business doing. I say, like, the child is not ready. When you push up your children to grow up too fast, one of the things that happen is parentification. Is actually a term we use in psychology where the child who is parentified will need to go through healing. Want to go through healing. Honestly speaking. You just want your children to just become. A child cannot play. You won't get angry when a child is playing. Somebody reached out to me and said, hey, my 3-year-old is always playing. The job of a 3-year-old is to play. What else do you think a 3-year-old should be doing? Sweeping the house? Going to farm? Their work is to play. Even something is to play. My son still slides. My children, both of them. Our daughter was I told you earlier that our daughter will wear sliding socks and say, it's time for me to go and slide. I'm sliding. My children are 16 for crying out loud. And they are still going to play with balloons and burst it and jump. But you are angry because according to you, they're making noise. You want to rest. You only rest in the grave, not here. You can die and go and rest somewhere. Please, what's the problem? Allow the children to be children. 18 years, such short a time. So short a time. When a child is playing, be happy. Happy. All you need to do is to help the child, train the child so that the child will know what it is that they need to do. There's another one that we do, making our children grow up too fast. You give them what I call social maturity, lips. Social maturity lips. You force them to interact with older peers or even see dating scenarios. You encourage them to use social media. Social maturity lips. Some of your children are 10, they're on TikTok. You're on TikTok. It's true now. You only rest in the grave. Where else do you rest? What is I want to rest? The children are now being choked. Why are you choking the children? Is my screen still blurry? Okay, I hear that my screen is a little blurry. Let me try and change another network and see if that works. All right? I think I'm back. Yeah. Okay, I'm back. You give them social maturity leap. Your 9-year-old is in soccer team of 15-year-old. And somewhere in the middle, you say, my 9-year-old is doing so well. He even interacts with his mate. We brag about things that are so rubbish. I think this guy, you come back and say, if you see my child interacting with older people, he likes to just interact. It's only older people he interacts with. What happened to his mate? It's a social malfunction. Somebody told me one time that the child was so exposed and matured that the child finds sitting with the mate as Dr. Happiness. And it's true. It's true. 90% of child stars horrible life in their adulthood. That was why Serena's father insisted that he will have a childhood. There were times that they were giving offers. I wrote that in this book. I wrote about Serena's father in the Parenting Advantage. They were giving offers. The man would turn it down, tell them we want to go to Disneyland. My children need to play. And children would need to play. And that was it. That was it. Some brown is a new red. So your child is on social media. You say, hey, they are, after all, it's 13 now. Your 13-year-old is on Snapchat. Maka, why? Because, there's this feel of, the one of these days, we even say it. My daughter looks big, because she looks big. So I want to put her in a bigger class. I want to put her with bigger girls, She's so matured. She looks so big. Should I even tell you that looks so big is a parenting malfunction? Should I even start that conversation? My child is bigger than her age. You say it so proudly. So my child cannot be, cannot be this. It's just, oh no, I just want my children to they're using the internet, they know it better and all of that. That's why your 16-year-old is looking like a 26-year-old madam. Adultification. That's why your 10-year-old will be fixing wig. What do people call it? Resinachi. Frontal. I've asked people that know, the owners of me. Frontal. Can you tell me why your 16-year-old is snapping a 16-year-old picture, all looking all like one prostitute on the road? Come on. Why? Because she turned 16. Is that a joke? Makeup everywhere. Me, like this, at an adult at 41, they did me one makeup on my... I wasn't understanding myself. Your 16-year-old will do makeup, brow, eyelashes like fan. She will put it weave on wig. She will put 4 million naira wig on top of an empty head. Yeah, that's get this one. Yeah, that's get it. Am I saying 10-year-old? You see, during Christmas, 5-year-olds are braiding braids on the bum. Maka, why? Can you please tell me? Why are you sexualizing your children? Mothers, why are you sexualizing your daughters? Is there a reason for that? Tell us now. Your daughter, on her chodi at 16. And if you're not Igbo, Maka, why? Maka, why really? What's really the issue? You overexpose them to social maturity leaves. You put makeup on your daughters. They look like witches of Endo in the name of, my daughter is a big girl now. You need to really pop. Inside where? Sometimes I look at the children that are 16 like my daughter. I'm wondering, is it the same 16-year-old? If I is 16 for crying out loud. When I look at some of your 16-year-olds, I'm wondering, maybe my own daughter is from one alien place. What are you guys on about? Exposed to all sorts. Instagram. These ones, they even know how to post more. They do Instagram challenge at 13. My children don't know what it is to do online challenge. Challenge care. Inside where? Skincare, no sense. You raise a girl that have no sense. Focus on the body. Focus on the body. You are doing graduation from primary 6 to secondary school. Your daughters are looking like they are going to be sold in a marketplace. Your sons are wearing earrings, cutting hair and dyeing it. Because according to you, that's what is in vogue. They wear chain, bling bling, and then you're clapping. You don't know the danger. You don't know the danger. You don't know the danger. Don't know the danger. Who's your son looking for? Tomorrow they are doing Yahoo to meet up with whatever. You say, no, it's not me. You are the one. You expose them to life that I don't even understand. Who are you? Because according to you, one of the worst things that can happen to you is to grow up poor and not review it. I've seen it as one destructive means. I'll talk about it in the yard. You see, growing up poor. You grow up poor, you don't sit down to review it, and then you now make money. You'll be one of the most dangerous people. You don't review that process of growing up poor. You don't go and deal with that trauma of growing up poor. You'll be one of the most dangerous people on earth. Anyways, you wear them stuff. Your children, most of your boys now are opening ear, dyeing hair, earring. Just some of your daughters have 2 piercings at age 8. When they now reach 20, what would they do? They will have piercings all over their body. What are you saying? Okay. It's my network I was trying to bind, but it's okay. It's all right. Over is, you're talking, you're watching Big Bang Nigeria, your children are there. Why are you even watching it in the first place? According to you're watching real porn in your home. Tomorrow is this network is trying me. K-drama. K-drama. He said, I don't know how my child, my daughter, they were looking. Also, what are the things they are watching? Looking like a one challenge. Things like that. Interestingly, this network we shall bind you and we're bound you. Just overexpose them to different kinds of adult topics. Adults are talking. Your child is somebody said the previous network seems better. Okay, let me go back to the previous. I wonder why. I think he's back. Maybe he's not, but I can see red, green. He's back now. Tobe, you, eh? All right. Sorry, I'm back. They said that the previous network was better. I've gone back to that previous network. Let's go back. I was saying that your child is watching all sorts of things with you. Your child is, your child is being let into every adult topic because one thing or the other and all of that. So I was asking, your son that is wearing 2 studs with hair dyed, or musician on a me entertainment, because on the name entertainment come now they were that crazy. When did you start raising a crazy person in your house? What's going on? Why are you putting your child inside where they should not be a child? A child. I don't understand what is going on with us really. Because you just want the children to just go, let them just go, let them just go, let them just go. No. As in the child is just go everywhere. Chaos. I was telling somebody, I said my daughter has never put weave on this thing. This thing is even too heavy. They did this thing for my birthday. I've been feeling uncomfortable. I woke up today, I said, oh, they should come and yank this thing off my hair. How do people survive? And then you put a 5-year-old through it. Put a 5-year-old through it. Because you want them to feel, oh, and my daughter is growing up so fast. In Abua, baby, where are you going to? Where are you going to? Then the child you now use your child as an experiment. And of course, these are some of the things that you're doing to your children that have hidden dangers. You're pushing them too fast. And the child is continually struggling. Let me now come quickly. What can we do? I like to put solutions. What can be done? If you understand a lot of child, when a child is pushed too fast, or when a child is exposed to things that they have no business being exposed to, of course, we've seen some of the dangers. Psychologically, even spiritually, Even spiritually. I'm telling you. Even spiritually. Yesterday I was talking about money to inner circle parents. And one of the things I said to them was that some of the things we learned about money affects our spiritual well-being, our spiritual life, without us even knowing that that's what is happening. That's what even knowing that that's what's happening. A lot of things have happened to us that made a mess of us that we don't even know. Let me run because time has gone. Yeah, I shall meet you people on Thursday. Kochukwemeka will be giving you people in the right destiny. You know, that's where we grow. Now, what do? You need to prioritize depth. You need to prioritize depth over speed. Over speed. Instead of moving your children ahead quickly, help them to actually grow. Encourage curiosity. Focus on understanding, not just finishing the next level. On understanding, get your children rooted. The reason a lot of us struggle today is that we're not rooted. We're not rooted. I'm an employer of labor. Every day I was having a conversation with my team lead, and he said, everything you teach in parenting, I see it managing these people. So anybody who will not raise their child well, you will make a mess, even in adulthood. Even adulthood. Prioritize depth over speed. Here is not where your child is running to. My child has no business trying to do the things. Your child needs to be fixing nails, your daughter, at 16. Maka, why? Next way you go fix tire. How many of us even sit down now to really do nails once in a while? I remember those days, we went rushed, told my mother, we must fix our nails when SS2. You never tire. And that's why you see, because you expose your children to those things, they get involved in things like premarital sex, things that, the same sex, where you don't tire, you did not tell them. It's all right. They've not told you people before. You need to strengthen foundational skills. If a child has already skipped the level, you need to begin to now check the hidden gaps. That's what you need to do now. Because I know that a lot of parents are on this table. This course is for you. Understanding your child's learning style is for you. You need to find those gaps. You need to revisit the foundational concept. Whether your child is passing those exams or not, you need to sit down and deal with it. You need to encourage questions instead of pushing to the next questions, the next topic. Strong foundation prevents struggles later when learning becomes more complex. If you have already skipped it, go back to it. The Bible says that what can the righteous do if the foundation be destroyed? There is the consequences of a faulty foundation does not elude even a righteous person. You see, even with your righteousness, the fact that you are righteous does not exclude you from the consequences of the wrong choices. It doesn't. So you can be born again and still have gaps. The Bible said concerning Moses that he was afraid. The Bible said concerning Joshua that the Bible talked about the shame that he had from Egypt is what is stopping him. And God said, I will give you a new lease. You know, I was saying the other day to inner circle parents that if you've been shamed as a child, you will second guess yourself. There are a lot of things that you need to deal with. All this bragging, I done that well. It should be annoying you by now. You need a level of anger to get out of where you are. I was still saying it to my team. You need a level of anger. Anger is a good emotion. It's what you do with it. It's what you do with it. You need a level of being upset to come out of where you are. Be upset about where you're coming from so that you don't return there. You need to cultivate a level of that. So all these they shamed me, they turned away. Stop. Sit. Review where you're coming from. You see, this course, understanding your child learning style, is for you. It's not for your child first. Some of you don't even know how your mind works. That's why you can't progress. Until you understand how your mind works. You know, you can finish doing this course and it will change the pattern of your business. You guys don't understand what it is that parenting can do to your whole being. This was Joshua who was in the Egypt. The Bible says because he's been under slavery, his mindset can't carry where it is that God wanted to lead him to. He was second guessing himself. Some of us are like that. because of where we are coming from. Because of where we are coming from, you must deal with it. Some of us we were not taught how we learned. Why do you think you struggle with reading? Most of you can't read. The reason is not because you don't like to read. The reason is that you were not taught how to learn. You were taught how to pass exams. Most of us pass exams. And passing exam is not the same thing from learning. No. Number 3, you need to protect age-appropriate social development. Children need their peers who are emotionally and socially at their level. Ensure your children find friends in their age group. What is all this? My friends, my children, they think very high that their friends are in SS2. What's that? What is that? You celebrate something that should not be celebrated. The first thing I ask my children, who are your mates? Who are your friends? Ensure that they play, group work, give opportunities to develop communication. These are the skills that are important as at academic, achievement. I was writing the book, Raising the Social Genius. This book, if you go to school and do not understand this concept, you'll be poor for life. It doesn't matter what degree you make. Some of you are first class holders, you don't have money. It's not because you are not intelligent. It's because you have missed this part. That's a differentiating factor. Intelligence doesn't make you money for your information. It doesn't. The things that actually help you to is this hidden danger when you're pushing your child. First in class is not first in life. I'm sure if you look around, that's why Robert Washaki said why C students build companies that A students work for and B students work in government. I love that saying. A student work for C students and B students work for the government. Come on now. Number 4, build emotional resilience. Children pushed ahead often fear failure. Build emotional resilience. Normalize mistakes. Mistakes means that your brain is learning. And your brain is learning. Resilience protects children from perfectionism and anxiety. Number 5, allow childhood to remain childhood. Highly intelligent children need to play. Play helps children to develop creativity. Play helps children to develop problem-solving skills. Play helps children to develop imagination. Unstructured play is actually one of the most powerful learning tools for the brain. That's very important. You must allow your children to remain children. Stop slapping a 2-year-old for jumping from one place to another. That's the work that they should do. When my son was younger, especially for your son needs to have energy. The energy will be directed wrongly. When our son was younger, we used to call him Play Master 2.0. In fact, we used to actually go and look for where our children will play. We always look. Every evening, we take them to a park. Our lesson teacher was park. All these, a child will finish school from 2. You bring a lesson teacher from 2 to 6. You're killing your child. The child is not learning. Oh, in your mind, you think the child is learning. Your child is not learning. Our child used to go to the sand, pour sand from their head to their toe, and we wash the clothes. They wash their what they can. And still so that they had just immerse themselves and adulthood is going to allow you to work according to Maria Montessori. Allow childhood to remain childhood. Stop bringing adulthood inside childhood. It's an error. You are making a mess of your child. Allow a child to play. Allow this say, my children plays too much. See, there's no language like my child plays too much. There is no, that language is wrong in itself. My child plays too much. It just play. My son is the most playful person I've seen on earth. And I love it. I love it. How do you remove play from a child? How do you do that? What you need to do, is to be able to help your child now build skills. Not complain that you want to, the child is playing too much. I don't know what you need to do is to build skills. Number 6, match learning style to the child style. Match learning style to the child. Sometimes children struggle not because the content is too hard, but because the teaching style does not match how they learn best. The teaching style. So for example, some children learn best through movement, hands-on, like my son is kinesthetic. Some of them learn best through visual patterns. Others learn through discussion and storytelling. My network is trying to try me. Is that what it looks like? I'm looking at my screen and I'm wondering that can never be me. What's going on? I'll try another network. Okay, I think I'm back on. Yeah, take it back. Yeah. All right. Thank you for your patience. I just looked at my television in front of me and I realized what's going on? Why am I looking blurry? Okay. Now, match learning style to the child style. I'm giving you a solution on what you need to do. Whether your child has rushed already, and then if your child has been rushed already and the child is struggling, withdraw them. Don't be afraid of stopping and counting your costs and redoing it. So I had a yarder whose son was in 3rd year by the time he came into the yard. This boy was struggling left, right, and center in the university. Failed 1st year, addicted to screen, failed 2nd year. It was terrible. My solution was withdrawing him from the university. It's not ticket to heaven. Come and deal with his soul. His destiny is more than that university. University is just a part. Withdraw this child. This child is currently working in one of my organizations, by the way. He just comes to work. He's learning through the ropes and through life. He's going to be there for a while. And he will be all right. What are you afraid of? That somebody is going to come and then people are going to say, why is a child not in university? Who is present? Is it not your child? See, one thing you must learn in parenting is that you have made a mistake. Please reset. You see this book? Parenting Reset. That's a need for you. If you have made a mistake, how to start over when you have gotten it wrong. If you have made a mistake, the best thing you can do to yourself is to reset. I've made a mistake. This has happened. Please reset. Please reset. Reset. Nobody died. If the child no go school, nothing will happen safe. There are people who didn't go school that are billionaires. Cosmos Omaka is a standard 5 level of school. It's not that. Don't make. I'm not saying that school is scam. Please, before you come and say Coach Wendy said. All I'm saying is that if a child is already struggling, deal with the struggle first. Stop rushing. Oh, his mates are going to leave him. Oh, he's going to now arrive. Hey. It's not whether you will you arrive? If the process is wrong, you cannot arrive now. Cannot arrive. You have to understand this last part. So match learning to the child style. And that's why the understanding your child learning style course is paramount to every parent. There's a free masterclass we're hosting on Saturday. And I'm going to go deep into why smart children fail in life. That's one of the things I'm sharing in that class. Right? You can invite your family or friends. It's free, 6 p.m. WAT. And of course, the team would, you don't need to join any group. The team will share it to you automatically. You have access. Don't need to join no group. If you're not in the yard, find your way to the masterclass group so that you shall have access. Right? But if you're in the yard, don't worry, you're covered. See, the goal is not to raise a child who is ahead of everyone. Did you hear me? The goal is not to raise a child who is ahead of everyone. The goal is to raise a child who is confident, who is emotionally secure, who is curious about learning, who is resilient in challenges. A child growing at the right pace often goes much further in life than a child that is pushed too fast. Stop pushing your children too fast. It doesn't get them there. Allow the process to go on. Allow the process to happen. Again, we go back to the conversation on process. Remember what I said at the beginning? Yes, I know my child finished university at 20. That's exactly what we rush for. But university was never meant for certificate. University is supposed to teach you how to think. Many children were rushed through the system, never developed critical thinking. So now we have graduates with certificates, but younger adults who does not know how to think. Say the job market is bad. It's not true. I mean, and every time that we're talking, there are many opportunities. Companies only want younger people. It's not true. Companies want what will help them grow. Who told you that success must happen earlier and earlier? Who convinced parents that the faster a child finishes school, the more successful they will become? Who told you? That's a lie. They sold you a lie. Life is not a race of who finishes fast. Life rewards those who are properly developed. That's the reward. You produce a younger graduate who still needs time to grow into adulthood. That's a hidden danger of pushing children to grow up too fast. Remember, process. When you skip something, whether it's grade, whether it's lesson, whether it's emotional experience, you don't just get away with it. Life has a way of filling in the gap. Oftentimes, it is more painful and harder to catch. If you show me any drug addict, it was David Folorami that was sharing that. I will show you something in his childhood that got in there. Did you hear me? Show me anybody who is addicted to anything. Screen, porno, drug. I will show you something in their childhood that got them there. It's deeper than I just saw. Addiction pathway is created in parenting, guys. Parenting creates addiction pathways. That's the truth. Most of you are raising your children without knowing that you're creating addiction pathways for them. And in doing that, you're making a mess of their process. Addiction pathway is created in parenting. It is. Even your children that are addicted to screen, the pathway was created as toddlers. When you wire the brain in that way. Part of what I'm going to be teaching at the Understanding Your Child Learning Style is pathway. Learning pathways. Learning pathways is a thing. Please join this course. It's going to change your life. The social lesson you missed, you relate to how to handle it. The gaps you left behind may look small, but they will grow over time and eventually catch up. Skipping steps may feel like saving time, but in reality, life will always balance the books. Let me say that again. Skipping steps might feel like you're saving time, but in reality, life will balance the books. You can't cheat the process without paying the cost later. You can never. You cannot cheat the process without paying the cost later. You must pay the cost. There's always a pathway. By the way, this is where we end this class. The details to register for Understanding Your Child Learning Style is on the comment, is also on the screen. All you need to do, even if you cannot make direct payment, the link is in the description of this video, or send us a message. All right. If you go to the comment section, right, you're going to see the link to be able to reach us on WhatsApp directly. I think it's pinned, right? And then you also see the details to log into this class. One of the things you must learn is that life will always demand for whatever it is at the end of the day. Don't let life demand from you what it is that you're not able to pay as a price. So if you're looking to reach us directly on WhatsApp, you'll see a WhatsApp link, all right, in the comment, and you can click on it. You can book for a one-on-one session. You can join the Understanding Your Child Learning, and most importantly, join in a circle. Join in a circle. Some of the things you hear, most of the coaches you listen to will not tell you the truth. That's the truth. Because they need you to just be there, in a loop. So like being in a loop, it's easier to be in a loop. But when you come in here, you hear the truth. You hear the truth and nothing but the truth, because that's what we trade. The Understanding Your Child Learning Style is going to change something in you. Part of what I was, putting up the curriculum, Coach Molola is teaching one of the classes, understanding. So the first part is why your child struggles to learn and the hidden parenting challenges, even for the 3 different category of learners: the smart child, the struggling child, and the special needs child. The special needs child will include even the child that they say is a genius. So the special needs child, I call them the differently able child. I am differently abled. I have directional dyslexia. So a learning disability is not it's not that, oh, the person is going to. I still came out of my class. No, it's not. If your child has a learning disability, it's to figure it out and learn how it is that they learn. So I call it differently abled. The fact that we don't all learn as the same people doesn't mean that we're not smart. ADHD, call it, name it. So that class is going to take care of. Do you know that autistic children are extremely smart? Yeah. I usually say that because of what happened to my children or my son didn't read until age 6. So, anytime I think about him, like, that's how they would have said he's an olodo. He doesn't know. You can't do English language in my son's set without him being tops in English. It's not even anything to brag about. It's the process. It's the process. So it is about being able to look at the child and just understand who the child is so you can help the child. So I usually say that the best thing can happen to you is who raised you. You're a product of who raised you, where you were raised, how you were raised, and what the person who raised you know. What the person who raised you know is a differentiating factor. Do you know? If you were raised by another person, you would have been another person. Trust me when I say it. Oh, you would have been another person. So in that course, we're going to be looking at emotional blocks to learning, your child's unique way to learning, practical parenting solutions. And in Module 2, we're looking at learning style and unique needs. How do you look at identifying differences, learning challenges, learning disabilities, screen time and learning, real life cases, practical strategies for each learning style. And then we're going to be talking about how do you now build motivation and reward? What's the difference? Hey, God. How do you develop focus? How do you develop the discipline? How do you create a thriving learning environment at home? There will be worksheets, there will be daily exercises, there will be templates, there will be private community for support. Get into this class and you'll be grateful. How many of you were at the EI course? If you were and it was impactful to you, say "Aye, Captain" in the comment section. And of course, that means even if you have attended this course before, trust me, this course is coming brand new, revamped, as usual. If you've been in the academy for a while, you know this already. All right, don't go without having a taste of what our books look like. By the way, we're printing the new books, right, that we're going to launch for fathers. Mothers, please don't ask me anything. The two books for fathers, amazing content. It's called 52 Lessons Every Father Must Teach His Sons, 52 Lessons Every Father Must Teach His Daughters. 1 weekend, 1 lesson for a whole year. 1 weekend, 1 lesson for a whole 2 books. So while we're doing the print, we want to also do the print of a few of our books, guided fingers, guided hands, before you japa, and boarding preparatory guide for your children. So we're trying to get some of our books into hard copies and make it available out there. So if you're going to be wanting to get the hard copies of guided fingers, guided hands, all of that, you can reach out to the team. Alrighty. And of course, 52 lessons every father must teach his son. 52 lessons, that's 52 weeks. Amazing book. And Actually, I created this book because of my husband. Because he said every time I say, this is the lesson for the week, he said, please, Ma, can you write a book for this? So I can have a piece of the book and I can use it. Don't miss it. I write the finest books in parenting. If you know, you know. All right. So these are the raising series. Raising the boy you don't need to bail out. Raising the lifelong learner. Raising the girl with sense. Raising the independent thinking child. Raising the emotionally skilled child. Raising the social genius. Raising the trophy child. All these books are available on Amazon. We have the discipline books. All right. The discipline is not an emergency. Connect to correct. Discipline that works. We have the sex conversation books. All the people that have been asking me, how do I teach my child about menstruation? What do I do? Guided hands, guided fingers are going to, put all of that. 52 lessons, are they available on Amazon? Yes, it's coming live on Amazon as soon as we launch. We haven't even launched it. All right. As soon as we launch, it's coming live. You are struggling with that, walking your child through puberty is a book, a must-have for every parent whose child is 5 and above. Start preparing for puberty. And of course, sex educate your child like a pro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 is coming this year. And the parenting series, I like to call them Parenting Advantage, Parenting Reset, Parenting Lessons from the Bible. And of course, you have the Camp Parent series, the Camp Parent Framework, From Yelling to Calm. Others, Resolving Sibling Rivalry, How to Love Your Child, Solving Family Problems. You can actually have all the copies. I think there are about 30 copies of my books. And then these are the planners. Your family dating plan, godly dating plan, and parenting launch plan. And then my book that was launched last year, if you want to know about me, The Kingmaker, is the book that you need. This is where I come to, and I thank you for giving me the grace of extra minutes of your time. See you guys in class. Details on the screen. See ya. According to your dad.
When the days feel heavy and the work feels wide, when you give your all with no place to hide, there are homes standing because you stayed. There are parents breathing because you obeyed. Every lesson spoken, every truth you send. Seas are growing, Coach Wendy, deeper than you know. Keep building, Coach Wendy, keep standing strong. What you're pouring out is shaping generations. You're not behind, you're right on time. God is breathing on you, Coach Wendy, every line. You chose structure over noise, wisdom over trend. You taught us parenting is built before it's tested. Oh yeah, as a mentor, you've shown what consistency can do. And I'm better, clearer, stronger because I learned from you. With every framework, every system you share, you're raising leaders in homes everywhere. Keep building, Coach Wendy, keep showing the way. Families are winning because you didn't sway. You're not behind, you're right on time. God is smiling on you, Coach Wendy, every time. Every time. Every time. Mentors don't just teach, they model endurance. They don't just speak truth, they live it with patience. Coach Wendy, your life is instruction itself, and I honor the grace God placed on you. Keep building.
Common phrases in the inner circle. Let's go.
You're coming for an inner circle webinar and you're not with your yellow blanket with red trimmings. Is that even a joke?
Oh, I'm running and I'm not looking back because 10,000 lions are chasing me. I have watched all the webinars, but today, Coach came with a bazooka.
Even with my humility agbada, I still collected.
If you're not in the ark, you better enter now because flood na bia o.
In the inner circle, we dey walk and they show.
TIP police is coming for you. There is no need harness here.
You definitely cannot relate because you are not in the yard.
If you are not in the yard,
Why not?